I was a simple girl, one who had lived for years with a thin body that never seemed to change no matter how hard I tried. My thinness was not a choice, nor vanity, but a condition I carried quietly, learning to accept it long before marriage. When I married, I did not dream of luxury or perfection. I dreamed only of a calm home and a husband with whom I could feel safe. I entered my husband's house believing that patience alone could soften everything. Instead, I found myself in a silent war, fought not with raised voices, but with words sharp enough to wound. My mother-in-law never shouted. She mastered a more painful art, subtle cruelty. She hinted at my thinness in front of her son, turning my body into a subject of ridicule, as if it were a flaw I had chosen. Her words were spoken lightly, almost jokingly, yet they settled heavily in my chest. In family gatherings, I felt invisible and exposed at the same time. My name was rarely spoken. I was reduced to a description that followed me wherever I sat. I smiled to protect myself, then returned to my room to cry in silence, holding my broken confidence together with trembling hands. Over time, the poison reached my husband as well. His gaze changed. He began to question me, why I was so thin, why I could not be like others, as though my body were something I could simply will into difference. At weddings and celebrations, I felt eyes weighing me before greeting me, whispers forming before the music even began. My self-worth slowly eroded. What hurt most was that the woman who judged me was not so different from me, yet she used comparison as a way to elevate herself while diminishing me. When exhaustion reached its limit, I made a decision that did not come from self-love, but from survival. I decided to fight my thinness at any cost, not because I hated my body, but because I could no longer endure the cruelty attached to it. I tried to open my appetite, changed my habits, and gradually my body began to change. I gained weight, my shape softened, my husband changed too. His attention returned, his affection revived, and for the first time in a long while I felt seen. But the change came with another burden. I lost balance, as if my body were desperately compensating for years of emotional starvation. That was when my mother-in-law's attitude shifted. Jealousy appeared, bare and unmistakable. Even the smallest details of my life were no longer safe. One day, while cleaning the kitchen, I discovered something that belonged to me hidden away where it should not have been. The realization shocked me, but I said nothing. Silence had always been my refuge, though it protected me no longer. Daily gatherings turned into trials where everything I ate, wore, and did was monitored. Silence was labeled weakness, objection was called rebellion. No version of me was ever acceptable. Eventually, the pain overflowed. Staying meant losing what remained of myself. I left for my parents' home, wounded but strangely lighter, breathing freely for the first time in years. Days later, my husband came to me. He admitted that his silence had been a mistake, that he had left me alone to face cruelty I did not deserve. He spoke of a new beginning, one unlike the past. I returned to him, but not to the same place. We moved into a new home. My condition was clear. I would live far from those who had hurt me, free from interference, comparison, and daily humiliation. Now I live in a quiet space, slowly rebuilding myself, learning to make peace with my body, thin or full, because it was never the cause of my suffering. Cruelty was. Still, one question follows me in the silence. Was what I did right or wrong? Is protecting oneself an act of selfishness, or is it the simplest form of human dignity?